not easy for me to accept, you know, being the dominant player for most of my career for over 20 years and now being dominated by particularly Alcaraz and Sinner in the last
What
couple
is that
of years.
like? I mean, for two young whippersnappers to come
Look,
along.
I mean, I knew it was going to happen eventually, that, you know, the guys will come and they'll start to dominate, and someone will form a new rivalry that is, you know, coming after the big three or the big four that have dominated the sport for over 20 years. And I think it's a natural progress and evolution in sport in general. So Sinner and Alcaraz, I think they're great for our sport. I mean, their rivalry, their matches, and they played one of the most epic matches of all time in the finals of Roland Garros this year, which was incredible just to watch. And I was reflecting on that actually when I was at Wimbledon. They asked me whether I watched it, and I said that I didn't want to watch it because I lost semifinals against Sinner in Roland Garros, and I went back home. And when I'm done with the tournament, I just want to switch off. I don't want to see any tennis, at least for a few days. I want to be, unless my son wants to play, and then that's different, obviously. But my son and my wife, particularly, also my daughter to some extent, but particularly my son and my wife, they're big tennis fans. So they love to watch tennis. They love to watch the finals of big tournaments, Grand Slams. So I was somehow trying to drag them out of the house, and I did that. And I said, let's go, have lunch, have a walk. And they're like, they didn't want to confront me, but they were like, we really want to watch this match. And I said, okay, you know what? You can watch a set. You know, let's just go. And then, I thought that the match will be over by then. I kind of planned my time outside for like a couple of hours. I thought it's going to be like 2.5 hours. And they kept going. They went for 5 and something hours. So we went back and we ended up watching for 2 hours.
What were you feeling watching them? Honestly.
You know, honestly, no, I was feeling various things. First, I was feeling like a refusal to watch. I was kind of forced to watch because my family wants me to watch.
Yeah, I can't think of anything worse than watching.
Right, and so then I was. And then but that went away quickly because then I was really, you know, when I watch tennis, which is I assume for Cristiano when he watches football, you see it with a different eyes than a regular football or tennis fan, and then I was very analytical at the beginning. I was like, you know, trying to understand the game and what they're tactically doing to each other, and then I entered the phase of admiration. And then I haven't felt that too many times in my life when I was watching someone else play. I felt it a couple of times when I watched Federer and Nadal face each other. So just maybe 4 or 5 matches in my life that I watched, and I said, wow, this is you know, astronomical level of tennis. It's amazing. So that's what I felt.
But are you also, is part of you also thinking, I'm not sure I can compete against these guys at this level now? Or is part of you thinking, actually, maybe I can't, but I'm determined I'm going to?
Yeah,
what's the mindset?
I can't, that's what I was saying, like in terms of transition, you know, mentally, because, you know, I'm aware of what's happening, you know. I mean, I'm aware that these guys are my best level now, their best level now, they're better. Okay, that's the reality. I mean, for most of my career, you know, the visualization practice, the techniques that, you know, brought me to the level of the mental strength and self-belief and the achievements that, you know, I have always believed in things that are almost impossible to achieve. And I knew that the message that I tell myself, or the signal that I give to myself, the words that I'm telling myself internally, and what I verbalize, is sent out to the universe, and it comes back in the same way that you sent it. So I was always trying to be very cautious, and it's not always possible to be very positive and optimistic, obviously. But I was trained from the young age to think greatly about myself and to nurture the self-confidence, because that's going to eventually, whether it's sport or anything else in life, bring you the rewards and allow you to chase your dream, and basically not settle for any boundaries, you know. And my childhood was, you know, boundaries all over the place, You know, it come from a country that was war-torn, sanctions embargo, tennis, zero tradition of tennis in our country. So, you know, most expensive sport, you know, the scarcity and poverty of my family and all the other families in our country, most of the families. And so I picked the most expensive sport, and so 99% of the people were obviously laughing at us. And at us, I'm saying us because primarily my father and my father, you know, I
just thought you were wasting money.
You know, both of my parents, they've done, you know, I cannot never repay them for what they've done for me enough. But my father believed very oftentimes more than I believed in myself. So that's why I say us. But, you know, so going back to the point, yes, I understand the power of the thoughts, but at the same time, there's a biology, there are things that are happening, and I'm, you know, 38 going into 39, and the wear and tear is real. And I believe that to some extent I'm a Superman that can never injure himself, that can never be weak, etc. But you know, I got a slap from reality the last couple of years, and it's not like I'm paying the price, but I'm just getting to know this new chapter.
I have two words for you.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods. So Tiger Woods, absolutely peerless golfer, #1 in the world.
Right.
Then went through very different trajectory to your story, but he went through a lot of stuff, which meant he plunged to number 1100 in the world. And there's a brilliant video, I think Nike did it. It's a mashup video of everyone writing him off. He's finished, he's done, he'll never win again. Oh, Tiger Woods, they're laughing at him, right? And then he wins the Masters in 2019. Against all expectations, he takes all the young pups down. Do you think, like, you know, next year, the year after, suddenly at Wimbledon?
I think I've done that
Djokovic.
already last time.
Well, no, you have.
23.
Yeah, but
you
know,
24
in other words,
actually Olympic Games.
do you think there could be a few years perhaps where you don't win and then you win again? And is that in your makeup to do that?
So, to your point, yes, I do have more doubts that I can win slams, particularly against these two guys. But at the same time, I know that while I'm still active and when I enter on the court, you know, I don't care who is across the net. I always believe I'm better, and I believe that I deserve to win, and I'm going to do everything I can do to win. So, bottom line is that one. You know, I'm nurturing still the winner's mentality, and I just hope, and this is one of my primary goals, is to maintain the body in shape that is.
If I can be reassuring, you're not in bad shape.
I'm not in a bad shape.
I'm not being funny.
To the eye.
If you want to know what a out of shape body looks like, Exhibit 1 is staring you in the.
No, you're right. I expected worse. You're right.